You think manipulation looks loud, shouting, insults, control, but the worst kind whispers. It hides inside phrases like, "I'm just trying to help." It smiles while it rearranges your memory. You start second-guessing simple things. What you said, what you felt, what you know. They call it love. You call it confusion. And slowly you stop trusting the one person who always told you the truth. Yourself. Gaslighting isn't just emotional abuse, it's identity theft. Bit by bit, they replace your confidence with their version of reality. You shrink while they look calm, almost righteous. But not all gaslighting screams. Sometimes it sounds like kindness. Sometimes it hides in politeness, concern, or phrases like, "I didn't mean it like that." Today, we'll expose 5 tiny signs of silent gaslighting, the kind that destroys your self-worth quietly while you're trying to keep the peace. The first sign, kind correction. It starts small. They help you rephrase your sentences. They suggest better words. They say, "I'm just being honest." You think it's kindness, feedback meant to help you grow. But over time, you stop speaking freely. You pause before every word, afraid of being wrong again. Your confidence doesn't grow. It withers. This isn't correction. It's control dressed as care. They frame your truth as overreaction, your feelings as exaggeration, and your memories as slightly off until you begin editing yourself before they even open their mouths. That's the trick. They don't silence you. They train you to silence yourself. And the cruelest part is that they still sound reasonable. They'll say, "You're too sensitive," or "I'm just trying to help." But if their help always leaves you feeling smaller, it isn't honesty. It's quiet domination disguised as love. The second sign, selective forgetting. They never forget what you owe them, but somehow they forget what they owe you. They'll remember every favor they did, every sacrifice, every effort, every "I was there for you." But your kindness, your support, your sleepless nights? Gone. You start wondering if you imagined it all. Did I really say that? Did I really help them? Or am I just being dramatic again? This is selective forgetting, memory used as manipulation. They rewrite history so the scoreboard always favors them. Every time you try to recall the truth, they tilt the story slightly, and soon you stop trusting your own version. That's how gaslighting wins, not through big lies, but through quiet erasures. If you find yourself keeping screenshots, notes, or messages just to prove what really happened, you're not paranoid. You're protecting your reality from their revision. The third sign, emotional tone policing. They don't argue with your point. They argue with your tone. You raise a concern. They sigh. You speak firmly. They call you aggressive. You express pain. They whisper, "Calm down." Suddenly, the problem isn't what they did. It's how you reacted. This is emotional tone policing, a subtle way to make you doubt your delivery instead of their behavior. They stay calm, collected, holy in their quiet voice. You start believing their serenity means they're right. But calm can be cruel. Control can wear the mask of composure. They don't need to yell to dominate. They just need you to question your volume, and slowly you stop speaking passionately. You lower your tone to keep the peace. But here's the truth. Someone who invalidates your feelings because you're emotional isn't peaceful. They're performing power through silence. The fourth sign, shifting definitions of respect. At first it sounds noble. I just want respect. But soon, respect starts meaning obedience. They don't want mutual understanding. They want quiet compliance. If you question them, it's disrespect. If you disagree, it's attitude. You start shrinking your opinions just to keep the peace. You measure every word like you're walking through a minefield. This isn't about respect. It's about hierarchy. They place themselves above you morally, emotionally, even spiritually. They call it standards, but it's really control in disguise. Real respect doesn't demand silence. It creates space for both voices. But with them, only one voice is sacred, theirs. And you? You're expected to nod, smile, and say, "You're right." If their version of respect always costs you your truth, it's not respect at all. It's worship, and they've quietly made you their disciple. The fifth sign, manufactured guilt. They don't need to yell to control you. They just need to make you feel bad. This is manufactured guilt. They twist your empathy until it becomes their leash. They say, "I thought you cared," or "I guess I can't count on you anymore." Suddenly, you're apologizing for having boundaries. You're explaining why you couldn't save them again. You start believing love means carrying their moods like a cross. But guilt isn't love. It's emotional debt, and they keep the balance rigged. They cry when you pull away. They sulk when you say no. They punish you with silence until you cave. And you do, because you're kind, and because you don't want to hurt them. But here's the brutal truth. If someone makes you feel guilty for protecting your peace, they don't want love. They want control with your consent. The turning point, reclaiming sanity. The first step isn't confrontation, it's clarity. You can't argue your way out of manipulation, but you can wake up from it. You stop proving your memories. You stop defending your feelings. You start believing yourself again. That's how sanity returns, not in noise, but in quiet certainty. You realize their calm was control, their help was humiliation, and their love was a leash. And in that moment, the fog lifts. You remember who you were before the edits. No apologies, no debates, just this truth. You are not crazy. You were conditioned to forget your power. Conclusion. Gaslighting doesn't always come with shouting. Sometimes it comes with smiles, soft words, and gentle logic. That's what makes it lethal. It convinces you that you're overreacting when you're actually being erased. But now you see the pattern, the kind correction, the selective forgetting, the calm judgment, the shifting respect, the guilt disguised as love. Every quiet cut added up to silence. But the moment you name it, it loses its grip. Awareness is rebellion. Clarity is freedom. And walking away isn't cruelty. It's recovery. You don't owe anyone your confusion. You owe yourself your peace. If this hit home, don't brush it off. Let this be the day you stop apologizing for noticing the truth. Comment, "I see it now," because healing starts the moment you call manipulation by its real name.